Bhaktya vihina aparadha lakshya Shiktascha kamadhikaram kamanti Kripa moitvam sharanam prapanya Vrinde namaste charanarvindam Sri Krishna Caitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. First of all, I permitted Sastangalavad pranams in the lotus feet of Paramaradhyattam Guru Padma, Nittilila Prabhushtam Vishnu Pada, Stotra Satsi Srimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, our most beloved Srila Gurudev. The same anointed Sastangalavad pranams in the lotus feet of our Shilpa, Guru Guru Varga, Dandavad pranams, all Vaishnavas, all Vaishnavis. So today our Mahanta Swami could not come for giving Harikatha, so he gave me the order to speak something. So very soon we will be having the divine Vyasa Puja appearance day of our Srila Gurudev. So we are between Gurudev's Tirobhav and Srila Gurudev's Vyasa Puja. So I think it's the best time to continuously glorify our Srila Gurudev. Anytime is the best time to glorify Srila Gurudev. Always we should give this excuse to glorify Srila Gurudev all times. Because as we heard before, if the Vaishnavas they speak very long about Gurudev's glories, then there will be a chance that Vaishnavas they will give up this material world and go to the place where Srila Gurudev is. So we don't want to be bereft from the association of Vaishnavas, so we should not pressure them to speak for so many days. According to their desires, they are going speaking. But I remember the longer I heard Vaishnavas speaking Gurudev was when our Srila Gurudev he entered Nitya Leela. So my translators can help me always. In this way, at the time when Gurudev entered Nitya Leela, I heard Vaishnavas spoken Gurudev's glories every day for 2 months. But in the beginning, it was 2 times a day Harikatha about Srila Gurudev. So then they reduced for 1 time. The time I was in Bengal, but my visa finished, and I had to go to Mathura to extension. So I was thinking that was a trouble, but actually it was great mercy of the Lord. And instead of staying 2-3 days, I stayed like 15 days. I told our devotees some problems. So I have to stay here more time. But it was only to hear Puspanjali of Vaishnavas. Those who are lucky, they were there for the whole 2 months. So many of these lectures, they are base of this Sri Guru Darshan. Many of that lectures, later when the Grantha was published, then we can see that all of them are here in this Grantha. Like that. It's difficult to have this time when Vaishnavas speak for many days on Sri Gurudev's glories. But at that time, when they were revealing these things, which are now present in Guru Darshan, we are very surprised. We are like, wow, how much nectar they are hiding all this time. Now they are openly giving. How much nectar is here in Sri Guru Darshan. Well, we have to read again and again. Many things they are not very evident. You read 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times, 7 times the same chapter, then you are able to find more and more things. It's like a puzzle. Different chapters, they have different pieces of this puzzle. Then after you take one piece from here and there, but these pieces, they are not very evident. You have to read many times. And when you combine them, then many secrets about Gurudev's life, about Swarup of our Guru Varga. Many things of Vaishnavas are also here, so hidden. But it is there, many special things. So, when we, last time when we speaking about Guru Darshan, we were describing the pastime of Ananda Mohan Brahmachari. So I'm just reading from the beginning up to the end, but just the main pastimes. All pastimes are the main, but some are more prominent, some are more well known, and some are they have very deep impact in the life of Srila Gurudev. So I'm just touching those ones from beginning to end, just so that I can have some idea of the main pastimes and specialities of Srila Gurudev. So very close to that chapter of Ananda Mohan Brahmachari, it is the chapter describing the disappearance of Narhari Sev Vigraha Prabhu. So recently it was the disappearance of Narhari Sev Vigraha. So we are just in that part of Sri Guru Darshan now, just coincidentally. You speak something? So we are just describing that part now, and then after this we'll move further to the next pastimes. So Narahari Sev Vigraha Prabhu, it is described here, and it's also described in the biography of our Srila Param Gurudev. He is a very important, very prominent disciple of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. But he was so humble that his position was many times misunderstood. Nobody could understand his actual position. But our Param Gurudeva, he revealed that Narahari Sev Vigraha Prabhu, he was one of most intimate associates of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And one of the most close. And Gurudev himself told that he was an eternal associate of Srila Prabhupada. That Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he came along with his associates, and Srila Narahari Sev Vigraha, he was one of them. Sometimes we think our only these great acharyas, sannyasis, gurus, they were the associates of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, but actually not. There were some Vaishnavas also who were in the Grihastha ashram, they were also eternal associates of Srila Prabhupada. There were some brahmacharis also, and some sannyasis, all. Just like Caitanya Mahaprabhu, some of his associates, they are here and there in all different ashrams and varnas. So that was the same case for the coming of Srila Prabhupada. So Narahari Sev Vigraha, he was one of them. So by this we can understand, not ordinary person. He's eternal associate of the Lord, completely realized. And we can see that his picture is here in our temple. Vaishnavas has kept it, the picture here. Because he had very close relationship with our Param Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshav Goswami Maharaj. They are very close friends, very close friends. They have served Srila Prabhupada all life together. And Narahari Sev Vigraha, he was so humble, he used to respect our Srila Param Gurudev, like senior to him. He would take his remanence, he would massage him later on when they were in Gauriya Vedanta Samiti. He always treated him like Guru. But he came earlier to the shelter of Srila Prabhupada than our Srila Param Gurudev. Sometimes Gurudev used to say that, oh, why Guru Maharaj was one of the first disciples of Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. How much senior he was to all others. But even Narahari Sev Vigraha came earlier than Srila Gurudev. So how much senior he was not. But always he was very humble, always serving all Vaishnavas. Because here Vaishnavas explain that if the seniors do not teach the juniors, if the seniors do not serve the juniors, then juniors do not know how to serve the seniors and everybody else. So we can see how Vaishnavas, they are taking such a humble position. I remember in Mathura, Vaishnavas also taking such a humble position that is breaking the heart. Sometimes Vaishnavas even washing the clothes of our brahmacharis. Because brahmacharis, not having time to do that. Vaishnavas seen the bucket in the bathroom for 2-3 days. Vaishnavas going there washing their clothes. Sometimes Vaishnavas also going in our rooms and massaging the brahmacharis. Like this. Brahmachari sleeping and time for program and he's late. Then someone going there and massaging, very nice. Then Brahmachari, oh, nice, so nice massage. Then when he wake up, Prabhuji, what are you doing? No. Like this, I see with my own eyes this happening. In my room this happened one time. So like this. Vaishnavas, what is their position? But still they are taking so much humble position. Like this. Sometimes nobody washing pots, Vaishnava coming, washing pots. This since the time of Srila Gurudev. When Gurudev also come, Gurudev used to see Vaishnavas washing the pots alone. And Gurudev himself used to leave his room and come very late in the night, cold, deep winter. So they also, then Gurudev and Vaishnavas both washing pots together. Then the devotees used, when they see that Gurudev came, then they, oh, no, Gurudev, please go. And they come here and they do everything. At that time also they did not know the exalted position of Vaishnavas. What to say, even now some devotees also not understood. So we are very lucky to be in this situation that we have Nishtha. I mean, you have Nishtha in Vaishnavas. You have understood his exalted position. Not everyone can understand. By their mercy we can understand something. By their mercy, if we are sincerely praying to Gurudev, that please Gurudev, help me to become instrument in your mission, help me to fulfill your heart desires. Of course, Vaishnavas another day saying, we cannot fulfill Gurudev's heart desire. Krishna will fulfill Gurudev's heart desire. It's true. But also, Gurudev was very happy. Vaishnavas, they were giving this tricky answer like this to make us understand something. But it is true that Gurudev used to be very pleased when someone would come to him and pray, Gurudev, please help me to fulfill your desires. I have seen that some 3 times. Gurudev very happy with that type of mood. Not coming, Gurudev, I want to do this, like we were hearing yesterday. I want to do this. I want to preach. And they see we have some material desire. Okay, you can go, no problem. So not like that. Yesterday I was discussing with Vaishnavas, the Harikatha. They asking me, how did you hear? You are not there. How I could not hear? So strong. No need mic. All temple can hear. When we are in China also, one day some devotees telling there, oh, today we couldn't hear the translation of class. Every day we can hear, but today we could not hear. Then Caitanya Prabhu, who gave class today? Oh, one Vaishnava very strong speaking. Maya, I'm Maya. Fight for the lower ground, not higher, lower. So nobody could hear the translation that day. This is very nice. Gurudev told that I want my disciples to be preach like lion. One time Gurudev speaking class, I don't want them to speak like cat. I don't want them speaking like meow, meow, meow. Gurudev is doing like this and everyone laughing. I want them to speak very boldly, like lion, boldly speaking the Siddhanta, no fear, like my Guru Maharaj. My Guru Maharaj also is speaking so strong. When he used to give lecture for 500 people, no mic at the time, and everyone could hear his Harikatha because he was speaking so powerfully. You can hear, there are many recordings of lectures of our Param Gurudev, but he's speaking very sweetly. You can hear, it's very nice, but they're all in Bengali language. So you can learn Bengali and you can release the lectures of Srila Param Gurudev, of Srila Brahmana Goswami Maharaj. His lectures are amazing because he speaks everything perfectly. You hear his Harikatha of Srila Brahmana Goswami Maharaj, it's so nice. He tells all shlokas with very nice definition. He never tells anything like any mistake, it's so perfect from beginning to end. The description of the tattvas in the verses. All Vaishnavas, they have different pastimes. So, Srila Brahmana Goswami Maharaj, he had that speciality that he was a Shrutidhar. Whatever he heard, he would never forget. Whatever he write, it was ready to publish. No editing, no anything. So all Vaishnavas, they have different leelas. But very nice to hear his Harikatha. Very, it gives immense faith in scripture. And it gives also some inspiration to learn these verses properly and the definitions properly. It's very, very nice. So, Narhari Seva Vigraha. Nobody knew what time he was taking rest because he was serving day and night. Day and night he was just serving. He would do all the service. He was the manager of the Caitanya Math. And because he was a manager, then Srila Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta, he could go on preaching and he had no tension. He knew that everything would be taken care very nicely. We heard yesterday, one Vaishnava, he was saying how he was considered the Math, the mother of the Gaudiya Math. And similarly, our Gurudev also taught that Vaishnavas, they are the mother of our Gaudiya Math. And when Srila Gurudev, he used to go for preaching in the Western countries, Gurudev was very peacefully and he was tension-free because he knew that Vaishnavas will be there in Srikeshava Gaudiya Math, which was the main headquarter of our Srila Gurudev. So Gurudev told that because Vaishnavas are there, then the environment there is very peaceful. You can see here also the environment is very peaceful. No quarreling, no politics, no 99.9%. This is almost like Golok Vrindavan. Of course, this material world is the material world. Gurudev said that there is no perfect situation in this material world. Always will be some trouble. But we can see that there is so much harmony here in the month. If you read that book, they publish Harmony. The name of the book is Harmony. They publish that only with the intention to create harmony in the Sangha. You read that book, and then you see our situation here, then you understand where this harmony is being placed, where all this harmony is being practiced. It is here in Radhe Kunj because of the presence of Vaishnavas. The mood of Vaishnavas are reflecting the heart of all sevakas. Nobody wants to be in the center. Nobody wants to be, respected, and that Guru Abhiman is not there. All want to be the sevaks. So therefore, no trouble. The time we want to be the center and we want others to respect us and we want to be in the front and then start this fighting for position and then this enviousness and then wonder what's criticizing other behind, and then when you see very bad environment is there, different groups here and there in the mud and they don't speak with each other. Very difficult condition. But we can see here that this thing is not there. This thing is not there. One time when we are in Navadvipa Parikrama, then Acharya Rakna Prabhu, he asked Vaishnavas, there are many devotees there, full packed to the temple. And he asked Vaishnavas, is it possible that one Acharya can be born in the Western countries? Then Vaishnavas told, yes, possible. You are the jewel of all Acharyas, and you are born in the Western countries. Because Ratna means jewel, Acharya Ratna. You are the jewel of all Acharyas, so you born there. So yeah, it's possible. Not impossible. Then Vaishnavas told, there are many Acharyas everywhere. You go any temple, in India, in the West, any month you go, you open one door, one Acharya is there. You go another temple, you go open door, more and more Acharyas are there. Then you go to another temple, you open door, more Acharyas are there. All temples, so many Acharyas. So, in nowadays, there is no problem of Acharyas. Acharyas are everywhere. But there is one thing which is missing, sevaks. There is no sevaks. All want to be Acharya. So indirectly Vaishnavas are revealing their own position. They are teaching this sevak move. And that time they told that anyone who is real sevak, by their humility, they will conquer the hearts of everyone. Anyone who become real Acharya, all our Guru Varga, you can see that they were the greatest sevaks. Like Srila Bhakti Daita Madhav Goswami Maharaj, he told to Srila Gurudev that your Guru Maharaj is definitely a Sadguru, and you are Satshishya. You are perfect sevak of his. Therefore, you are also Sadguru yourself. So someone who is a Satshishya, who is a perfect sevak, then he becomes a real Acharya. But anyone without fulfilling all desires of Gurudev, both internally, externally, and becoming completely mature in his Vishrambhena Guru Seva, because that is the fruit of Seva, that will become mature in your intimate service to Srila Gurudev. You'll become qualified to assist Gurudeva here in his service to his Guru Varga, and you also become qualified to assist Srila Gurudev in his service in the spiritual world, under the guidance of his Guru Manjari, in the Gana of Srimati Radhika, always fulfilling the desires of Krishna. So this is the real Shishya. So these are not ordinary things. So, I remember that time, this memory also coming, that same day that Prabhu, he asked this question to Vaishnavas. Someone else also asked, oh Vaishnava, when this Kali Yuga will stop? When this Kali Yuga will end? So they were expecting to hear some numbers, certain time. 432,000 years is the duration of Kali Yuga, 5,000 years have passed. They were expecting to hear something. But Vaishnavas told, that day when you chant every day 1 lakh Harinam, then Kali Yuga will stop. Then the effects of Kali Yuga will not grasp you anymore. So Vaishnavas giving strong inspiration for us to chant 1 lakh Harinam. So we can see this in the life of Narahari Sev Vigraha Prabhu. He was he was serving the whole day, taking care of all brahmacharis, managing the mart, make sure everything was there, making sure there was sabji available for devotees to perform that seva and offer for Thakurji and serving the Vaishnavas, making sure there were flowers, making sure there were garlands, making sure the worship of Thakurji is going on nicely, making sure the temple was clean. So he was serving everything from top to bottom. He was taking full responsibility. So whole day he was engaged in seva, and whole night he was engaged in chanting Harinam. Therefore it is seen that nobody knew what time Sevi Graha Prabhu was taking rest. What time he was taking rest, nobody knew. Nobody would see. When he's taking rest, nobody would see. And this famous pastime, which was actually everyone came to know about it because of Srila Bhakti Komodshanta Goswami Maharaj. He wanted to ask a question to Narahari Sevi Graha. And then he came in his room very late in the night. And then when he opened the door, or I don't remember he opened the door or he seemed to do it, but he came to speak with him. And then when he see, oh, what Prabhu is doing? He has tied his sikha, putting his sikha tied in some type of wooden handle or sometime in a hook or something. He was tied his sikha and he was there, deeply immersed in chanting, with tears in his eyes and feeling separation in his heart, relishing that Mahamantra. And then Srila Shanta Goswami Maharaj saw that Prabhu, he doesn't take rest. All night he's chanting in deep mood of separation. And in order to prevent his sleep coming, then he's even tying his sikha like this. Wow. Then later he told to all devotees. And then one devotee telling another devotee, and after this pastime is like most famous, So like that. Sometimes one thing happens, one person see, but the whole world comes to know about it. Like this. So, how much desire he had to please Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada. So Vaishnavas are telling us that along with our services we have to also chant our Harinam, Tate Krishna Bhajane Kore Guru Seva, Maya Jale Chute Pai Si Krishna Charan. That our Krishna Bhajan, our Nam Bhajan should be combined with Guru Seva in order so that we can cross Maya and obtain the shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. Just like you are riding a boat, one side Harinam, another side Guru Seva. Both sides you are doing like this with the oars and the boat is moving very nicely. Then you can cross this ocean of material nations. I remember sometimes Vaishnava was telling me, Mathura, those who are chanting too much Harinam, not doing Seva, they think only I am doing bhajan. No one is doing bhajan here in the mat, only I am doing bhajan. I am chanting 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs. These other devotees, 16 round, what is this? Then become pride. Then those who are doing so much seva, but not chanting Harinam, then they also become pride. Nobody here is doing seva. Only I have love for Vaishnavas and Thakurji. They are lazy people chanting in their rooms, not doing anything, then they become pride. So both things are there. Both things have to be combined. But everyone has different tastes, desires, and inspiration, and this doesn't come from this lifetime. And you can see in Caitanya Charitamrita, it's described how different associates they obtain perfection by different angas of bhakti. Some by hearing, chanting, remembrance, some by pada sevana, and these and that. So So we can see that our acharyas, they also perform different pastimes, that they have received the full mercy of their Gurudev by performing a specifically anga of bhakti, like Vaishnavas, Padaseva, like service, serving Gurudev, like Swami Maharaj preaching kirtan all over the world. Gurudev also prominent was kirtan. Some they are very expert in hearing Harikatha. Some that they have very strong desire for chanting Harinam, like this Akinchana Krishnadas Bhuji Maharaj. When he came to the mat, all he wanted to do is chant Harinam. Whole day. The whole day he was chanting Harinam. And then Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta, some devotees, they came to complain. They came in and complained to him. Oh, this devotee, he just want to chant Harinam. And previous to that, they want to kick him also, from the mat. They say he don't want to do anything, he just want to chant Harinam. So let us take him away from the mat. When Prabhupada came to know about this, he was very angry. He said, anyone who come to the mat and want to chant Harinam the whole day is very welcome here. And he made some announcement. You make some announcement that whoever wants to chant Harinam the whole day, then he's very welcome and they should come. We are inviting anyone who likes to chant Harinam the whole day. The main logo of Srila Prabhupada is Caitanya Sadahari. Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam. So he wanted to chant the whole day. Who can chant the whole day? Whole day and whole night also. He was also like that. You would look to him and he would never see him not chanting Harinam. And he also would not speak so much. He used to sing very nice. Harinam Kirtan, play very nice Mridanga. And he would not speak so much. Always Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama. Always chanting. And if anyone come to him and ask one question, he would say, chant Hare Krishna, chant Harinam. And then he used to laugh, and he used to continue his Harinam. Like this. So all devotees, they have some different attachment for a specific angas. So we have to respect that also. And Vaishnavas, they will engage us according to our inclination. It is difficult here to chant one like Harinam because so much program is going on. It is almost impossible. But you can see that Vaishnavas are chanting 2 lakhs Harinam. What to say of minimum 2 lakhs Harinam? What to say of 1 lakh, 2 lakhs? Minimum, not maximum. Maximum we cannot say. So it is possible, but it requires the mercy. But Gurudev told that if we have we are in high class sadhu sangha and you have so many services to do under the guidance of that Vaishnava, then if our nam is less because of that, because of so many programs are going on under the guidance of high class Vaishnavas, then there is no harm that your nam becomes less, that you chant a little less. But if so much time is there and we are wasting the time speaking some nonsense thing, Gramya Katha, and watching something on internet, and that is just a useless waste of time. Whatever free time we have, little free time we have, when we are not here in temple program, then we must engage in Harinam. Time is there, but we waste so much time. I mentioned, I think, the last class, that Vaishnavas also, from very childhood, taking full responsibility. Then Gurudev asking Vaishnavas, are you chanting your Harinam? And Vaishnavas say, you Gurudev, you are chanting Harinam. I am serving you. Then I am also chanting automatically by doing that seva. Gurudev say, no, you should finish your Harinam. Otherwise, this will be like karma. All this seva you are doing, it will be like karma. So you have to finish your Harinam. So Vaishnava was told that Gurudev gave blessing. And by the blessing of Gurudev, even though there was no time, but time manifest. The blessing of Gurudev can make everything possible. Any impossible thing can become possible. From that time, Vaishnavas never, after this day, they received the blessing of Gurudev, then they never lack in their chanting of Harinam. That means one lakh Harinam. Everything is possible by mercy of Vaishnavas. Another important thing is that we should not judge other devotees. We should focus in our own sadhana, because our judgment may be incorrect. Sometimes some devotee is doing so much publication seva and he cannot come for the temple program. We don't know, we think he's here and there, what he's doing we don't know. But he's doing much more than us, publishing so many books. Or someone maybe, even some devotees, sometimes they preach on the online, and sometimes they preaching to devotees from other countries, also collecting donation for Vaishnavas. And sometimes they don't sleep. 2 a.m. they are there preaching and doing this and that. And we don't know. Some devotees also we see working in the publication also, like during the night, they are not sleeping. They don't sleep during the night. So many things are there to be done. But we don't know, we are not seeing. Then wrongly we can see some fault and we can criticize, then it will be very troublesome to our devotional life. We should not judge what devotees are doing, just focusing our own sadhana and trying to develop our relationship with Gurudev. Because our judgment may be wrong. And if that tendency is there, Gurudev told that gradually we will see fault in Kanishtatikari. And then after some time the tendency will be there and you don't know how to discriminate and you will see fault in Madhyamadikari. You think Madhyamadikari is ordinary, but if he is advanced Madhyamadikari, he is doing pure bhakti, also in one sense he is considered pure devotee, and you are criticizing him. Then you having that tendency, then eventually you will find fault in Utthamadikari. Then you will find fault in your non-Gurudev. Then you will find fault in Caitanya Mahaprabhu, in Rupa Goswami. And you will find fault in the pastimes of Radha and Krishna. Why Radha and Krishna doing like this? Once finished, you are completely gone. Like Vaishnavas say, out of mind, out of market. Completely you are lost. That tendency to find fault, it is so dangerous, It can ruin completely our spiritual life. Gurudev told that this process of bhakti, it is very natural. Very natural for the soul to do devotional service. Gurudev told that even Ajamil, who is chanting name of Narayan, calling his son, eventually he had darshan of Vishnu Dutas and he heard Nam Tattva in their discourse. Eventually he went Haridwar and he continues the chanting and then he went to Vaikuntha. But we are chanting, even with relation, not just we have not given the name of our sons and daughters like Hare Krishna or Radhe or like that. We are chanting with, hearing from Gurudev with some relationship, but sometimes nothing is happening. Gurudev one class is saying, why? Only one reason is there, aparad. Mahaprabhu told, Sadhu Sangha, Nam Kirtan Bhagavat Sravan, Mathura Bhas Sri Mukti Shradaya Sevan. Sakal Sadhana Srishta E Panchanga, Krishna Prema Janmanya E Panchera Alposanga. So if you perform very little of these 5 angas of bhakti, sadhu sangha, chanting harinam, hearing bhagavatam from sadhus, and leaving the holy dham and worshipping the deity with faith. If we perform just alposanga, a small contact with these angas of bhakti, Krishna Prema you awaken very quickly. Krishna Prema Janmaniya. That means very quickly Krishna Prema will awaken. Mahaprabhu told this. Mahaprabhu loudly used to call like that. But then why that Prema is not coming? Why our heart is not melting? Why tears are not flowing from our eyes? That is because of some offenses to Vaishnavas. Vaishnavas is not only Uttamadikari Vaishnavas. Kanishta is Vaishnava, Madhyam Vaishnava, Uttam Vaishnava. All offenses will be harmful for our devotional life. Even we can see, there was one disciple of Gurudev. When he came to Srila Gurudev, before that, he was doing so much nonsense. But so much, more than the common nonsense, very huge nonsense. So he came to Srila Gurudev and said, Guruji, I'm attracted by you, I want to follow your instructions, but I have done this, I have done that, I have used this, I have done this and that, and telling everything openly to Gurudev. Still, is it possible for me to take Harinam from you? Then Gurudev told, oh, this is nothing for Harinam. Of course you can take Harinam. You give up these things, you chant Harinam, and Harinam will purify you from all these things very quickly. This is nothing for Harinam, nothing. You chant Harinam, then very soon you will find that the reactions from these habits, it will all be destroyed. It all will become ashes. But one thing you do, then even Harinam will not help you. Hari istane apar. How is that first? Toma istane aparade nahi kora. If you criticize any devotee, then even Harinam himself will not help you. So he is saying that be very careful. Don't criticize any devotee. Gurudev told any devotee. He didn't say, oh, be careful, don't offend some pure Mahabhagavat. He didn't say like that. Be careful, don't criticize any devotee. Of course, giving up offense, it's not the main thing. The main thing is engaging in bhakti. The main thing is Guru Padasray. Guru Padasray tasmat Krishna Tikshati Shikshanam Vishvambena Guru Seva Savat Manu Vartanam. Definition of taking shelter of Guru by Sri Rupa Goswami Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Take shelter of Guru. How? Receive mantra from him. Follow his vichardhara, follow the conception which Gurudev is giving, follow his shiksha. Diksha without shiksha is not complete. Follow his instructions, apply what he is teaching you in your own life, practice what Gurudev is teaching you. Then gradually serving Gurudev with intimacy and follow the footsteps of previous acharyas. All these things, they are main things, but we are already performing all these things in one sense. We are already performing these angas of bhakti. Of course, maybe we are not serving Gurudev with intimacy in the highest level, but we are already performing all these with Mahaprabhu mentioned, Sadhu Sangana, Kirtan, Bhagavad Sravan, and so on. It is all going on here naturally. Just by being in high class Sadhu Sangha, one lecture of Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj is saying, just by being in the association of pure devotees, automatically all these angas are being performed in its true sense. We may be here and there independently performing these angas, thinking that these are the actual angas, but no, it may be a bhas of that anga. Not real, not pure. But when Vaishnavas are present, these angas, they are being performed to its true sense. Automatically. So automatically Krishna Prem is available for all of us, just by being here with Vaishnavas. So for us, main thing is give up this critical mentality, because the other things are already there available. We cannot escape. Even if you want to sleep the whole day, not possible. Kirtan is there. The Vaishnavas made the temple in such a way that any room you are, you can hear Kirtan. You cannot escape. You cannot sleep properly here in Radhakunj. Always Kirtan going on, and Harikatha is going on, and program. So automatically, even if you are in Vrindavan, you are sleeping, then you get the result of doing Sastanga Dandavat Pranams. So automatically we are practicing bhakti, even if we don't want, just by being here. Even if you come and you say, I will not do bhakti, I just enjoying the month. But when you see, you will be caught. You will be doing so much bhakti is there automatically. You will be taking Mahaprasadam. This is also anga of bhakti too. Take Mahaprasada is also one of the six four angas of bhakti. So you'll be practicing bhakti. So these angas of bhakti, they are very powerful. But because of offenses, then the power is not being received. The fruit is not being received by us. So very important to give up offenses. Then we have to learn all the offenses. 6 types of Vaishnava Parad, and 4 types of Seva Parad, and 10 types of Nama Parad, 10 types of Dham Aparad. If you do sinful activities in the Dham, then that is Dham Aparad. Gurudev told that anything you do in the Dham then becomes highly magnified. If you do bhakti in the Dham, then 100 times. You chant 1 round is like 100 rounds. You are in the West, here and there. Even one round is so difficult when you are not in sadhu sangha. Ekakya mar nahi paye bol harinama sankirtan. Alone I have no strength to do harinam sankirtan. But here, so much inspired. Bhakti becomes very natural because all together are helping each other. Very easy to perform bhakti. So 1 round here is like 100 rounds. But if we do some sinful activities while living the Dham, then also becomes magnified. So you do a small sinful activity, then what happened? Well, then one thunderbolt come on your head. Gurudev told like that. Very catastrophic reaction will come in your life. You have to be very careful to not do any sinful activity while we are residing in the Dham. Day and night chant, remembering, serving the Vaishnavas, trying to engage the whole time. Even if you cannot do physically, then mindly. Even if you are very sick, laying down on your bed, but keep chanting Harinam. Keeping chanting the mantras. So mind always engaged, remembering the past times like this and that. So, Narahari said Vigraha one time, he had some stomach problem. He could not digest anything. You know that, Linda. We heard also a few days back, but we didn't hear the details. So he was not able to digest anything. So Param Gurudev took him to a doctor. So the doctor gave him some ghee. Every day you should take 1 spoon of ghee. So Param Gurudev told he cannot even digest water. How he will digest ghee? So the doctor told that most of this ghee will pass, but little of this ghee will remain. And this little which will remain, it will revive his digestive power. So he did like that, and he became cured. So sometimes this example is also used for when we come to Gurudev. Gurudev used to give very high-class Harikatha. that only 2 or 3 persons were able to understand. The Gurudev told that only 2 or 3 can understand, but everyone is receiving some impressions, and everyone is being benefited. And this little bit this little impression which is remaining in their heart, it will give them the qualification to have greed, and by that greed they can go to Vrindavan. So we are coming, we are not understanding what's happening. Sometimes even sleeping on the class. But something is going on, and now we cannot understand. But after some time, this little by little, this ghee, this harikatha is remaining in heart. So little by little, our heart will be purified, and some fragrance will come. Like some devotees, they first coming, they hearing Vaishnava's harikatha. I'm not telling about specific one person or this person. Many persons already, they speaking with our brahmacharis. I can't understand anything. I have no taste yet also to hear this type of things. No desire also, it's too much for me. But after 6 months, 1 year, 3 years, 4 years, then change coming. Actually this is so nice. Now I want to follow the footsteps of the Prajagopis. And they get so much eagerness to hear the Harikatha. This is the fruit, it will start. In the beginning, we do not appreciate. But later on, this little by little, it will have very powerful effect upon us. Very powerful effect. So, there was also one doctor, I do not remember if it was the same doctor who gave the ghee, but there was a doctor who saw the central qualities of Narhari Sevigraha. And this doctor, he thought that, I want to give up my life for him. So they made some, how do you call that? In India, there is a way of doing some certain type of astrology where you can give the years of your life to another person. Yeah, actually, some sannyasis, they did that for Gurudev. But Gurudev did not stay longer for that. They trying anything, for Gurudev is staying more time in the planet. Of course, Gurudev is completely independent. He can come and go in the time he wants. But this is just showing, they are just showing how they are ready to give up some of their, their duration of time for Srila Gurudev. So they did like that. Certain devotees, they went to this type of astrology and they gave some period of their life for Gurudev. So Gurudev would stay more with him. Gurudev did not stay more. They did this in the very land. Gurudev did not stay more. Because Srila Bhamana Goswami Maharaj came and he called Srila Gurudev, and Gurudev had inside his heart that desire that Srila Bhamana Goswami Maharaj, he is the one who came to the station and he took me to my Guru Maharaj. So inside Gurudev's heart, this desire was there that he wanted to meet with Param Gurudev through the medium of Srila Bhamana Goswami Maharaj. So that they came. Even though all devotees, they trying to pull Srila Gurudev to stay more time, they could not. They did some austerities and Gurudev stayed more time. And Vaishnavas explained that was not first time when Srila Gurudeva he planned to leave this world. There were 3 or 4 times when they thought that Srila Gurudev was going to departure. But somehow the disciples of Gurudev made him stay more time. But during this time, when Srila Bhamana Goswami Maharaj came and called Gurudev, then nobody could do anything. In one side, everyone called him, but in another side, Srila Bhamana Goswami Maharaj is more powerful than anyone. So perhaps that was the right time, and he took our Srila Gurudev to Srila Param Gurudev, spiritual board. One time Vaishnavas explained that they have seen this, and that Srila Bhamana Goswami Maharaj came in the Acharya form, in their form as Acharya, in this Sadhaka Rup. Not in Siddha Rup, but in Sadhaka Rup. Srila Bhaman Goswami Maharaj came, took the hand of Gurudev, and both went and disappeared like this. Vaishnavas told them. So when the Sevak of Srila Gurudev called to Vaishnavas already knew that Gurudev has departed. First time we heard this also not directly from Vaishnavas, we heard from one Sevak of Gurudev that when Gurudev disappeared, his Vaishnava, he already knew that had happened. Because he had a dream that Srila Goswami Maharaj came, Srila Gurudev and this and that. So if it was not for Vaishnavas, we wouldn't know all these things. We wouldn't know that Gurudev had hidden this desire in his heart. We would not be able to understand. So we should be very, very grateful that Vaishnavas are revealing these things to us. Otherwise, so many beautiful things, hidden things on the life of Gurudev, they remain hidden for us. We would never able to understand. So this doctor, he gave his duration of life to Narahari Se Vigraha and he left the planet. So I'm giving all my duration of life to him, and then he left his body. Like this, he has done this service for this great Vaishnava. And our Gurudev also mentioned that Narahari Se Vigraha, why he has received the title Seva Vigraha. We can see that Vaishnavas also have received similar title, Sevaratma. And they have very similar characteristics also, very similar character. We can see that when Vaishnavas, they were serving in the mat, in the presence of Srila Bhaktivedanta Bhamana Goswami Maharaj, Srila Bhamana Goswami Maharaj thought, how this Vaishnava is serving. It is like Narahari Se Vigraha Thakur had incarnated again in the form of this Vaishnava. He's saying like this. The same nature, very similar nature. And both had same title. Then Gurudev is saying why he received this title, Seva Vigraha. Is it just because externally he's doing lots of seva, great number of seva? No, that's not the reason. The reason is he is qualified to bestow transcendental service to the Dham, to the Vaishnavas, to the Guru Varga, and to Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He can bestow transcendental service. He is eternally related with the Dham. He is eternally related to Srila Prabhupada. Therefore, Seva Vigraha. This is real Seva. When that service has real connection with transcendental reality, then it is Seva. We cannot please Krishna with the material senses. Atatsi Krishna namadi nabhavigraham indriye seva unmukh hi jivado swayam evus pratyada. The name, form, qualities of pastimes of Krishna cannot be revealed, cannot be understood, cannot be released through the material body. Only for those who are inclined to perform service, it will be revealed to them. Once they transcend this body and mind, once their Siddha Deha is manifest, and they can serve their Lord with that perfect body, which is suitable for serving the Lord. We can never please Radha and Krishna and Gurudev while we are still entangled in this material body and this material mind. So Gurudev sometimes told that best service is to Srila Gurudev, best service is when you are able to assist Gurudev in his service for Srimati Radhika. Then this is best seva. So Narahari Se Vigraha, he was of such caliber. Gurudev also giving full responsibility to Vaishnavas to continue mission. How they can continue the mission of Gurudev if they are not of such caliber? If they are not of such caliber, then they cannot continue the mission of Gurudev. So you can see our Param Gurudeva, he is saying to Srila Gurudev that Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada, Gurudev asked him, did he bestow the Siddha Deha upon his disciples? Did he reveal to them? Then Param Gurudev said, yes, he has definitely done so. And he explained the bhajan pranali for those who are in that stage. Anyone receiving Siddha pranali, really, they are qualified to continue this mission. They are transcendentally related to Gurudev. So Param Gurudeva told that Prabhupada definitely he has done so, otherwise how his mission would continue. Those who have received these things from Srila Prabhupada, they are continuing the mission. Now these things in a very cheap and sahajiya way are going on. That's completely out of sense. That is, any ordinary jiva receiving this Siddha Pranali, this is full of material desires. Someone asks Gurudev, Gurudev, can you give Siddha Pranali? Gurudev says, yes, I can give. But do you think sometimes about ladies? Yes, Gurudev. Sometimes you have no taste for Harinam? Yes, Gurudev. Sometimes sometimes you forget Krishna? Yes, Gurudev. So then, how can I give you these things to you? Once you become qualified, you follow your Gurudev from top to bottom. Don't jump, try to catch the fruit without climbing through the root of the tree, otherwise you break your bones. Once you become qualified, I'll give it to you. Gradually, I'm giving you qualification. But now if I give it to you now, you will misuse this completely. So Param Gurudeva told those who are Prabhupada Saraswati Thakur, he revealed the Siddha for his disciples. And they are qualified to continue the mission. So anyone who came to that stage, they are very high class, few devotees.